For today's video, this is another playwright video, a guide to playwrighter to talk about their work and all sorts. I have to do this video 3 times. There's a lot of reasons why I have to do this video 3 times. There was one because of a lot of mistakes happening. When I was doing the research into this playwrighter that we were going to look into today, there was a lot of me being quite awkward, and I'm just like, nah, that's not me. And I realised the problem. I'm not a very good morning person, so I decided, you know what, let's change it. Let's re-record it and make it things a lot better. So I'm going to release it today, and I'm going to release it today, even it's 10 o'clock tonight, but I'm going to manage to get this video done so you guys can have a watch of this video. Even when I'm a little bit far back or anything else, it's good that way. It's because you can see much more of the room and everything else and all sorts. So absolutely. For today's playwrighter, we are looking into Clare Barron. Barron, yeah. And she is an American playwright. Let me move up a little. She's an American playwright who is quite well known in the States. I don't know in the UK as much, but she's very well known in the States. So, yeah. So, before we get into today's video, I want to bring out my usual disclaimer that I mean absolutely no disrespect into the playwriter's work. This is for educational purposes that I found research that I found on the internet and then combining into one. I give you a bit of a warning on this one. I usually do a lot of chronicle order on this on playwriters and everything else. This time, this is a little bit different. When I was researching this playwrighter, the dates were all over the place. So if you see a bit of a mix and match through some of the dates in, I do apologise. When I was in Spain, when I was researching it, the heat was so bad, my thinking wasn't properly in, and I was a bit disorganised and all sorts. So hopefully today, I have rehearsed this multiple times. I will get everything right. So absolutely. So let's crack on, shall we? Clare Barron has grown up in Washington and became a big, huge interest in theatre when she was in her early teen years, and she joined a theatre group called the Sheffield Troupe for Young Actors in her hometown. So she's had a big, huge theatre interest when she was a teenager, and she's just so adored with theatre, absolutely adore. She's obviously goes to this theatre group every single time. It was just her keen interest for it. She joined with another playwright who was running the group. I'm going to murder this woman's name, but it's called Sherry Shongrick. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She went to the Trish summer program while she was in high school, and this is where she took her writing workshop there. So she's been a big fascination into her playwriting, and she loves how she writes her plays and all sorts. Writing was a big step for her. She went to Yale University, and then she got graduated, and then she went straight into acting. But with her acting, she doesn't do a lot of big movies or television shows. She does theatre. That's what her big strength is. So with all the playwriting she has done in the past, she knows about theatre. She's a big theatre fanatic. And then when she finished with her acting, she went into another workshop into writing, and she wrote her very first play, which I try and find information about it, but it never happened. But the workshop that runs by is by another playwright who we are going to look into soon after my next one. I'm writing notes down. I actually got a new notepad from, when I mean I got a new notepad, I mean my mum bought it for me. So I am going to be starting on that playwright through this one here. So the playwright she actually did work with is called Annie Baker, and she's the playwright who wrote The Flick and Aliens. So I can't wait to show you her work and her production video photos of her work. It will be amazing. And then she went to New York, and Barron went to New York City to join the Ensemble Theatre Studio. So she had this big, huge interest into theatre from a very young age when she was in her 20s, and she is a big fanatic over there. She loves theatre, and then she started playwriting through all those workshops with big known American playwrights, and she started there. And now let's get into her work, shall we? So I did briefly warn that on her, when we were talking about her work, it is in non-chronicle order, so it's not in like release form. So if you're a bit new to playwriting videos that I am doing, it's all in a random order. So not all of them, just two which were messed around. I should have researched this properly. Without the sun pouring down on me and the heat just riddled with me. I feel riddled by the sun. So let's crack on with this play that I wrote down in a random order and such. So this play was released in 2019, I think so. Sorry about that. It was because I had to go and check it out before, because when I wrote down on my notes it was in a bit of a weird number, so I had to go and check it out. So this is her work. So this is in non-order. So then this play that I researched in that order is called Dirty Crusty, that was released in 2019 at the Yard Theatre. I am really unsure where it was released in America, but in the UK it was first premiered in Yard Theatre in the UK. So the play is basically focuses on Jenny, who is wanting self-development on herself. She was really, really unhappy about herself to the point where she wants to have some self-help. So she's been through a lot of drugs, a lot of drinking, a lot of everything that is unhealthy for her, and she decided to go and get herself better. This play focus on self-improvement and all sorts, and from the production videos into my research, there's a lot of movement as well. There was a lot of movement into that play, which really established the meaning of style that Barron uses and everything. And there was another play that she uses a lot of movement, and we will get to that one really, really shortly, that she really focuses on movement, and she really is a big fan of movement, and it feels really good. I'd really like to see that play actually, and I want to read it first. So the themes are alcohol, sex, and self-improvement, and the genre is drama. And then the next play, again in my non-chronicle order and everything else, is called You Got Older, and that was released in 2012 at the Here Arts Center in America. So this play focuses on Mia, who's decided to go on and look after her father, who is really seriously ill, and in the production videos, I think she had a guy with her in the video. I don't know if it's her partner or brother. I definitely presume it's her partner, hopefully. but it was definitely a guy who was there looking up, helping out with her father and everything else. But it mainly focusing on her sorting out her life as well. And this play was actually took on a bit of a what you call a personal reflection. So she was taking on a personal reflection with her own father, who has suffered with IV head and neck cancer at the time, and Barron used that reflection on helping for putting reflection forward. The themes are care, illness, and the genre is drama. And then again in the next order that I call the McHugh order, because I never done it in chronological order before, I do apologise with this. And this one is called I'll Never Love Again, in 2014 at Bushwick Star Theatre. So this play, I struggled to find out what the story is, but through looking into the production photos I looked into, they were all in their quiet outfits and such. But the story mainly, it was inspired by Barron's experience through domestic abuse, that she suffered in, not a few actually, suffered in a relationship she had where she was seriously abused by her partner, and she took onto that reflection and turned it into a play. And this one is actually, there's a specific style of play that is called chamber theatre, which is normally it has 3 acts and then a smaller cast. And this play really emphasizes on domestic abuse. Unfortunately, I do not know the story, but I do know the inspiration that she caught from this play. The themes are domestic abuse and the genre is drama. And then we get to moving my seat up. So I'm going to be sitting up straight, not like sunken down on the sofa like, oh, so chill. I was doing that on the last video. I'm glad I'm deleting that video I had this morning and having a fresh new one. So this video is called Dance Nation. That was released in 2018, and it was released in the Playwright's Horizon. And it is one of her big well-known plays that she has done in the past. So the play focuses on somewhere in America and a group of young girls, and I think, like, I presume teenagers, and they are competing for the bigger dance national. And during that point, they had to focus on individual stories that are focused throughout the whole play. Even Barron has even described this play that while she was writing it, she was using her deep depression when she was not very well, and while writing this play, after she was writing You Got Older, and she wrote Dance Nation, and it was such a great play. I have read bits of the play and it's really interesting, and from the production videos and the pictures, it looks amazing to watch. It looks so fascinating and so intriguing to watch, and I really like to see this play perform live, because it feels like really good. Like, I always watch plays on YouTube a lot with productions and that, but this one I really want to see live, and I can see the National Theatre would slide in and do a play of it for their theatre. And the themes are dance, gender and sexuality, and the genre is drama. And then we get to the next play, which is her first play she's written. I know this is her first, but it was her first published play, and this is called Baby Screams Miracle, 2013 at the Wild Project. This play is presented by a big, huge freak storm that with trees knocking over, and then it brings the prodigy child rushing home to their family while the family are struggling with their own problems. This play really presents about family struggle throughout the play and how they operate from this chaotic world and chaotic and violent world. And it's like a type of play which we both see in that, and we reflect on family struggle, because sometimes families do struggle at times, and then you have this child who's really clever to keep the family together and all sorts. The themes are family, love, and forgiveness, and the genre is comedy, because it is also to a comedy as well. And then we get to the final play that she wrote, and that which is not her final play she ever wrote, because she's still a current playwright. And this play is called sounds like I'm like, that's what it's called. It's called 2022 at Atlantic Theatre in America. So this play is fairly new, and that Barron wrote, she wrote it in 2022. So yeah, the story focuses on a group of women that in disquieting scenes, and they explore the vulnerability of their own bodies. And this story is an intriguing one, because it's focused on body positivity, be positive about your body, and just loving life as you feel, because I don't believe a word called ugly. I think everyone's beautiful in their own little way, and everyone is like gorgeous in their own selves. And I just don't believe the word called ugly on a person and on a person's appearance. I believe ugly on an object, to be honest. I just don't agree with the wording ugly. And I think this play is a really good example that everybody should be watching and or reading about, really. And I think Barron did a really great job. She's an awesome playwright. I do like her. So the themes are women experience, sexuality, betrayal, and LGBT plus, and the genre is drama. And then here are her other plays that she's got on here. She wrote one adaptation, which is by Chekhov, and then her first play, and then that's one of her first plays that she did with Annie Barker. So here they are, and now let's get into her method. So from the research that I did looking into and an interview she did on a play collection that I looked into, I can't remember what they called, but this is the source I looked into to find this sort of information in. Based on what she said, she always focuses on reflection. I feel like it's important to reflect on issues that are current in today's society. I feel like if you are reflecting on yourself as a individual, then you are reflecting, putting it into words and encouraging people to come forward. It's like you got older. She talks about her father, while he was very, very ill, and then I'll Never Love Again, it talks about domestic abuse through her experience, as she was a survivor from a domestic abuse relationship. So she really pinpoints her issues and put them into writing, which I found it amazing. This is what I love about contemporary theatre. It's not all about socialism or political correctness. It's about reflection, about your issues that you've been through society, and then you put them on paper, put them on the stage, and you get other people to talk about it. It's a really great way. There are a lot of playwrights that I got into a list that talks about reflection a lot. And then there's some ones have a very brutal opinion about society, like another playwright that I can't wait to get into. I read one of his plays and it was a little bit distressing to start with, but I loved it. Tim Crouch, another playwright I'm going to look into. I think I might start Tim Crouch on here. But after Annie Barker, oh no, after Annie Barker comes first. Annie Barker comes first. But I really do like all the playwrights that uses reflection. I feel it's important to reflect on issues that the playwright has experienced for themselves to make it more real. And I feel that that's what Clare Barron used to make her stories more real and more realistic, to encourage more people to come forward with stories they got. And she's just a great playwright. She's such a great egg to listen to her stories and even read about them as an actor point of view. I do like to get into a play called You Got Older, and I really do like to get into another play that she did. I think it's called Dance Nation. I like to start in Dance Nation because I've also done movement in the past. I've done dancing in the past. I'm slowly getting back into it because I started yoga with Adrian, and she is amazing. She's incredible. And that is all the research I got from today. So I did a video today. I did do a video today this morning, and it looked so bad. So I decided, you know what, let's record it tonight so I can edit when I'm in bed, and then, you know what, just edit in bed and then everything will be perfect. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to show you what my next playwright I'm going to going in depth in. She is a classic playwright who started in the 1980s. It's not Carol Churchill. She will be next soon. I might put that as a three-parter. I'm unsure. Comment down below if you want me to do Carol Churchill or any other classic playwrights. I really don't mind looking into Harold Pinter and all sorts, but I know Pinter has written so many plays, but I'm looking into another male playwright who is a classic. I have got 2 classic male playwrights, but I'm going to wait till the end of my uni course because it's going to be a bastard to film. A real big bastard. But I am looking into Tim Crouch. I am going to do Tim Crouch because I think I really like to look into his work. I read the play called The Author, and it's an absolute mind-blowing play to read too. But there will be content warnings when I'm going to be discussing about them. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay in tune. Bye.